Let me make sure. Amanda said these clocks are synchronized now. And I believe that, but I'm gonna look at my phone just in case. Because Mr. Commando has taught me that we can't start.
You're at 6:30, Madam Chair.
Okay.
You listen to him?
I listen to him, yes.
I would listen to me.
Literal.
It is now 6:30. Our county commissioner meeting is called to order. If we would stand for the invocation and the pledge of allegiance. Heavenly Father, we thank you for your grace and your mercy and your love. As we begin the meeting tonight, dear Lord, help us to continue to recognize our shared responsibility to serve the people. Serve the people with fairness and respect. And may we listen carefully and speak thoughtfully, and may the people do so as well. Let us work together to find solutions that promote the well-being of our community. And let our decisions be guided with wisdom and empathy and a good sense of common sense. So Lord, we pray today that you give us the wisdom that we need to conduct this meeting that will be pleasing in your sight. In your name we pray, amen.
Amen.
Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Let the record show that Commissioner Reddick is not present with us this evening, so we have a quorum. We have our 4 commissioners that are here. And I wish to acknowledge and to thank Commissioner Reddick in his absence for facilitating the last meeting in my absence. And I thank our board for their support. All right, at this time, I'm going to receive the public comments. And when you come to the podium, if you would please, if you forget what we're supposed to do, you have 3 minutes, and just be respectful of the time. State your name, your address for the record, and then speak directly into the mic if you need to adjust it, so that not only do we hear you, but the people who are listening online. We ask that you refrain from any boisterous, defamatory language. Just be respectful, and when you have finished and you take your seat, if someone else is speaking, we ask that no one talks from the floor because it's disruptive to the meeting. Okay? All right. So at this time, we will call, let's see, Ms. Tanya Hastings.
Good evening, Commissioners. Nicole Allen, Linda Archer, Kevin Barnhill, Wanda Beach, David Benton, Mary Brooks, Officer Henry Canals, Jennifer Carter, Border Patrol Agent Keith Connolly, Detective Mike Davis Jr., Sandra Duran, Deputy Frank Carey Fadley, Officer Josie Fox, Cherish Gibson, Dr. Malcolm Goodchild, Haley Hall, Deputy Mike Hartwick, Officer Brian Jackson, Haley King, Officer David Lee, Deputy David March, Scott Miller, Jocelyn Nungare, Melissa Powell, and Lakin Riley. These are just a couple of the American citizens that have been killed by illegal aliens. And you know, our country's good at changing words. They're illegal aliens, not undocumented migrants. So therefore, I want to let you know I am for ICE. I'm for all law enforcement officers. They do a hard job. But as far as this ICE facility, the location is the wrong spot. It is across from our shopping center where everybody in Bradford County goes to. And let me just say this, just because we're not Minnesota or one of these other states, don't think that these people can't bust protesters in, which actually they're not protesters, they are activists. If you are blowing a whistle in someone's face, that is not peaceful. If you are throwing bricks at them and at their car, it is not peaceful. Using your car is not peaceful. So when I hear people come up here and say, we can't have this ICE facility because ICE is bad, I'm sorry, you're 100% wrong. ICE is good. We've been invaded. It needs to stop. But as far as this location, it's the wrong spot. I'm sure everyone in this building goes shopping at the Walmart here. And if you think that buses can't come in with these protesters and cause chaos in our town, and yes, I'm aware we have a sheriff's department and he would be all over it because he's going to be over this if it gets in here. But just know this, if this happens, it's going to be on your hands. The last week we've had 3 terrorist attacks in our country. There are sleeper cells all over the United States right now from the previous administration letting them into our country. It's just a matter of time. I understand we're a small town and we've been safe, but don't think that it can't happen here. And I believe that this is absolutely 100% the wrong place to put an ICE facility in. You are jeopardizing the residents of Bradford County, that if this chaos comes here and it affects them, it's going to affect us all. And if something happens and God forbid somebody get killed, it's on your hands. So I would ask that you consider this. Yes, we need ICE facilities, but not at that location where it's located. It needs to be further from town. And I just thank you, and I thank ICE for all that they're doing because they are doing a hard job, and I just appreciate them. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we will have Kristen Rubin.
Madam Chair,
Yes.
Commissioners, my name is Kristen Rubin, and I live in High Springs, Florida. Several years ago, I used to come to the meetings to protest the HPS 2 phosphate mine. And the reason why was because of the disaster it would create for our community and for our water. The New River feeds into the Santa Fe River, and that goes along the northern border of Alachua and also Columbia County. Water has no bounds to it. Air has no boundaries either. So here I am again, and this time I'm here because I'm representing our communities again, and I'm representing our morals. The morals of the Bible say, love your neighbor. Now, how does that fit when our neighbors are different colors, different cultures, different languages? My family came from across the Atlantic. My husband's family had to leave Europe because of the Holocaust. So here we are, and we're looking at putting people with different colors, different cultures, different languages in cages. I can't live with that. I think that, I understand what was said before, but we have people killing people all over the place, especially in this nation where guns are so rampant. I believe in the Second Amendment. I have my own guns, and I've been vetted. And I only use them when I'm going out for target practice because so far I haven't had to kill anybody that came through my door. So I'm hoping that will never happen. The ICE detention center, in my mind, is a euphemism for a concentration camp. The proposal for the one in Bradford County would be placed where the water is contaminated. This is not an idea that is good for Bradford County or your neighbors. Thank you for the time.
Thank you. Next, we'll have Marie Gear.
Hello, my name is Maria Gear, and I live at 17245 Bradford Avenue, Brooker, Florida, District 13. I would like to respond to Sheriff Smith's comments he made at the last commission meeting. He said that he thought we were saying hateful things about the proposed detention center and that he was here in Bradford County for more than 40 years and no one loves Bradford County more than him. Well, my family has been in Bradford County for 40 years also. My ancestors on my mother's side have been in Florida for over 160 years. And my ancestors on both sides of my family have been in America since the 1630s on my father's side and the 1720s on my mother's side. So I would beg to differ with Sheriff Smith on who loves not only this county, but this country more than him. My ancestors have also sacrificed and fought in every conflict and war. I am also a Gold Star sister. I have nothing but the greatest respect for our law enforcement officers. My grandfather was a police officer, my brother-in-law was a police officer, and 2 cousins are police officers, with one of them losing his life in the line of duty. I even have a cousin who is an ICE officer. So there's no hateful speech from me, only practical, common sense concern for my community. I believe this proposed site for this detention center is a big mistake. Sheriff Smith stated that nothing has been decided yet and that there's just discussion at this point. And this is why the community is showing up, to discuss this proposal and to ask the hard questions. This commission must have all the facts and be completely transparent with their constituents before this project is even considered. Normally, I would not mind having a man stare at me in the eyes, but when it's used to try and intimidate me, I take offense to that. I will not be bullied, intimidated, or silenced. I will be at every meeting and asking the hard questions, giving the facts as I find them, and hoping this commission will realize that it is a bad proposal for Bradford County and put it in the garbage can where it belongs. Also, Pete Hegseth is already asking for billions of dollars to continue to fund the war in Iran. Where do you think they're going to pull that money from? They're going to look at ICE detention, because a lot of the sheriffs in Florida are already pushing back on it. And I think that my time's up, and thank you.
Thank you. Okay, and next we will have, no clapping, please, just Carol Mosley next.
Carol Mosley, 10121 Southwest 104th Avenue in Graham. Good evening, Commissioners. I think I've posed all the questions and concerns I have about the impacts on our rural community of bringing a 3,000-bed immigrant detention center. Now we wait. We wait to hear if DHS is still interested. We wait to find out if sewer and water would be viable. We wait to find out whether the ground contamination makes it environmentally suitable. Other than sharing a few Bible verses and a poem I wrote, I haven't spoken about how the thought of caging good people hurts my heart. Because even those with civil charges or no charges at all are imprisoned, shackled, and separated from their homes, jobs, and families. Immigration enforcement doesn't have to be done this way. My personal philosophy that I struggle to always uphold is compassion before judgment. In the 1990s, I worked on an environmental project on the border of Colombia and Panama. It was coastal rainforest that was both paradise and hell all at once. In 1999, there was a massacre in the Colombia town, and the people ran through the jungle to the nearest town, which was across the imaginary line into Panama, where they were always families living on both sides. The women asked, "What do we do now? We don't even have pots and pans. We're lucky to escape with our lives." There was prejudice, and refugees were called desplazados, displaced, rather than refugees. The Panamanian government tried to force them back into an unsafe condition, and we flew down there at Christmas to intervene by getting lawyers involved. We worked with the community to set up a preschool tended by the mothers in rotating shifts, and started a paper cooperative, set up a sea turtle preservation area, and other small-scale economic projects that enhanced the community while maintaining the rural nature. All came up through the community effort without imposition. 30 years later, we're still working in that community, and the prejudices have dissolved. Now we work with their children and grandchildren. The high school now extends through 12th grade, and we're working on the virtual university. They tell me to come and live out my days there, drinking coffee and watching the whales and dolphins swim by from my porch. If I don't die in Graham, freedom, I'll die there. I have found people who have the least are willing to give the most of themselves. I'm heartened tonight by what feels like a shifting tide of attitude in the country and in our state. We're seeing even hardline sheriffs like Grady Judd realizing that we are better when we work together rather than tear each other apart. There's common ground that Congress has failed to enact reasonable laws. That's no excuse to be cruel. The law that a person has to be in the country to seek asylum. When the Remain in Mexico policy was enacted, it became dangerous and prompted those to cross at non-designated entry points to turn themselves over and request asylum. Most would not be granted, but the broken process left people in limbo. The demonization and dehumanization of migrants is what has prompted this mass warehousing scheme that militarizes our streets and snatches good people from their homes and neighborhoods, sending them hundreds of thousands of miles from home while awaiting processing. We're better than that.
Thank you. Next, Paul Steele.
Paul Steele, 14167 Southwest 101st Avenue, Stark. I want to address three issues associated with the ICE detention facility proposal. The first is the county staff expertise. Sheriff Smith said in his 3/3/26 remarks at the end of the BOCC meeting, counties across Florida, including rural counties, routinely evaluate complex projects by working in coordination with state and federal partners, professional consultants, engineers, attorneys, and subject matter experts. Will the professional consultants, engineers, attorneys, and subject matter experts provide information at no cost to the county? In his comments at the end of the BOCC meeting, Sheriff Smith said regarding staff time and costs, yes, evaluating proposals requires staff time. Paul, you know that. We spend a lot of time on it. By the way, this appears to acknowledge that there is a cost associated with staff time. The key questions are how much staff time has been spent to date and how much staff time will be required going forward. The third issue is the impacts of soil and water contamination. In his comment, Sheriff Smith stated, let me be absolutely clear. No person should ever be housed in a facility without proper environmental steps. Hence you hire consultants, hence you hire people. The county spent, I think, over $25,000 for the last study that we got on a grant. That's out there. The DEP people have been spoken with and dealt with. The $25,000 grant is actually not related to contamination. There are in fact over 2,000 pages of DEP documents related to water contamination associated with the ICE site. A 1/16/26 DEP temporary point of compliance status update 5-year notice DMS facility Stark site states, although contamination concentrations have decreased, complete cleanup has not been achieved and active remediation continues for the above referenced facility. I would urge you to hold a workshop to explore the issues that are being raised by the ICE facility project before any more county resources are wasted. I hope that by having a workshop you would have the opportunity to have more input from citizens and actually have the opportunity to ask staff who have been researching this where they stand and where we actually stand with respect to the Sabot project, what Sabot is doing, what the county staff are doing. This is all very important information I think that you don't currently have. It's also very unclear to me and to others what exactly is being done, what the motion that passed really meant. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we'll have Stephen Weinkauf.
Hello, my name's Stephen Weinkauf, 8789 State Road 100 West, Stark, Florida, 32091. All right, since the beginning of this concentration camp ordeal, Sheriff has been sure that the people of Bradford County want this concentration camp at the entrance of the city of Stark. He tells a story of knowingly what the residents around the site of the concentration camp feel. he says that they don't care that the property values will go down, just like the values went down from the water contamination. He says that because the people live around the prison in Lottie don't complain, or the people around the jail don't complain, they shouldn't complain. But they purchased their homes knowing that the values were lower because they were around a detention or a prison. Contrary to what the sheriff says, the concentration camp will have an impact on their values, just like the contaminated soil on the site did. I was a property appraiser. All right, the site is knowingly contaminated when it was conveyed to Bradford County. Are we as Bradford County residents now liable for lawsuits for the contamination because we just had to have this site and that's now a liability? Boy, the state sure saw us coming, or did they? If I were living on any of those property, I'd be checking into a class action suit. I'm not, but so I'm not there. But now we're told to get we will get the property back. They will, after they use it. What will we get back? 3 additional pieces of concrete with tents on them. Tents have a lifetime expectancy of 3 to 5 years. Or maybe buildings, another building, or a tent for medical or food preparation. Nothing that will improve the value of the property itself, but still have the contaminated site that will cost residents of Bradford County if we do get sued over this piece of property. Now we're told that this will help if we lose our property income taxes. As board members, you have a difficult decision, but that's why you took the job. It wasn't just for the money. It was to try to help the people of Bradford County and be proud to do your job. So what do? Approve and wait and pray that no one gets killed, raped, or no medical attention at the concentration camp? And for the future of everyone seeing, passing the building and saying, oh, well, there's where it happened. But the sheriff said it's what we need. I can see the headlines in the Bradford County Telegraph now. Medical transport hits all-time record deficit.
Thank you. Okay, next, Josh Cooper.
I say my name and I say my name and then I say where I live, right? My address?
Yes.
All right. Josh Cooper, 3800 Southwest 20th Avenue, Gainesville, Florida. I'm here on behalf of myself and a lot of other friends that I have in Gainesville. We come to Stark relatively regularly. We find the city very nice. It's nice to be in. It's enjoyable. It's quiet. Very different. Very, very, very different from what Gainesville is like. And we come here. We spend time at the shops. We spend time around the town, and then we go back home. But we love it here. We love coming up here. We love spending time here. And recently, I've heard in the news that we're going to have a detention center right outside the entrance to the city, like on the road, up the road to the city. If I have to be driving up to get to Stark, and the first thing I see, not even the city, I don't even get to see the town, I don't get to see the people, I don't get to see anything like that. The first thing I see is I'm gonna see vans, I'm gonna see trucks, I'm gonna see officers, I'm gonna see lights, I'm gonna see this, that, and I'm gonna see people getting rounded up. I just went over there, I just took a stop at where this warehouse is supposed to be, and it's completely visible, there's nothing hiding it. You get to see the gate and everything. And if that's what I have to see every time that I have to come up here, I'm absolutely not coming up here. And I'm not the only one. I have friends who I'm on behalf of here. They're not coming either. If this is put there and we have to see that, not even mentioning that however long it takes for the construction to happen, for those however long it's going to take for it to get built, we have to see that every single day. We have to deal with probably the traffic that takes us, like the traffic that we're going to have to deal with to get up there. Like, there's so many things about this that just make it unappealing to come to Stark for anymore. If I have to see that, I'm gonna be just appalled. And yeah, and also not even to mention the fact that if there is an ICE detention center up here, what does that mean for Gainesville? Does that mean that y'all are gonna be coming down to my city and doing things in my city that I don't even agree with? It's not even, do I agree with it or not? It's, I have to see that. I have to see this. I have to deal with this. And then all of my friends are going to have to deal with this. But we're going to have to look at this. And everyone is going to have to look at this. Not even to mention, as the lady earlier said, that it's right across from the Walmart. Everyone has to see it. Everyone will be seeing it. It's going to be the worst thing that you have to see every single day. If you want to get groceries, you have to see that. If you want to just, I don't know, get something to fix your computer, that's the first thing you're going to have to see as well. I just think it's completely unnecessary to be built, especially in such a little town that's, you know, I think it's a small town, it's a nice village, it's a rural little place, like, it's a great place, but if you put that here,
Thank you.
yes, thank you.
Next, Kate Ellison.
Kate Ellison, 971 Southeast 32nd Way, Melrose, Florida, in Bradford County. It gives me no pleasure, but I have to talk about the remarks Sheriff Smith made at the last commission meeting. I'm glad to hear that no one has made up their minds about allowing an ICE concentration camp to be erected in our county. He is promoting it, but maybe all of you are keeping an open mind and listening to all sides, even as he gets unlimited time in commission meetings and wields enormous influence. The sheriff brings up the fact that the county jail coexists peacefully within the surrounding neighborhood, but I question whether a 200-inmate facility is at all comparable to the one housing 3,000 people and guarded by militarized federal authorities. I am surprised to hear we should all assume that a proper environmental survey will be done, given the emergency waiver for Alligator Alcatraz, the lack of remediation at our facility, and the enormous hurry that ICE is in to construct these prisons. It is appropriate for us to bring up this issue and insist on having an environmental impact study done. I am surprised to hear him bringing up Glades County, saying that the immigrants there are treated better than in his own county jail. He casts a shadow on his own jail with the comparison. This is what an ACLU legal filing says about the Glades facility. Immigrants at the Glades County Detention Center are experiencing racialized violence, sexually abusive behavior, medical neglect, inhumane treatment, and attacks on their dignity and safety. And, similar to ICE detention centers nationwide, the Glades County Detention Center has a long history of horrific conditions and human rights abuses, from pervasive sexual and medical misconduct to unlawful overuse of toxic chemicals. The facility continues to attack and dehumanize vulnerable people. I am shocked and insulted to hear the sheriff call our protests hate-filled vigor, which he said twice during using that exact phrase. Bringing out facts and asking serious questions is not hateful. Showing care and concern for powerless prisoners who have been mistreated and their rights violated is not hateful. Some local residents here for the first time have been creative, but coming from their hearts. Some local we have not raised our voices, cussed, or confronted the commissioners to whom we are addressing our comments. Rather than exhibiting hate, we have conducted ourselves with respect and complete control of our anger and our outrage. Thank you.
Thank you. And next, Vonda Strong.
My name is Vonda Strong, Post Office Box 530, Lodi. I am here because I looked over the agenda and it seems like it's time for there to be a Doge again for spending. I looked through the checks register and again, we're wasting money. There seems to be no one looking at what we're spending and where the money is going. We cry about where, that we don't have the funds. We don't have the funds, we don't have the funds. But yet again, we find money in places where we should be saving money. It continues to happen time and time again. I stand here, I come up here and I say, these are areas where we could save money. We have someone that we're paying in fleet maintenance. I don't know why we don't require that that person save money for the county. I don't understand that. There are areas that constantly are areas for improvement. I could go through and save the county at least $1 million in savings just from looking and totaling savings. I guess it's not important. I guess $1 million to the 5 of you guys is not important. To someone that, to some of the county people, but I would like for that money to be back in my coffer. I would like not to have to pay a fire assessment. I would like for that money not to have been wasted. But we continue time and time again. We've got to stop wasting money. And that's one of the areas where we continue to waste money when there is an area for improvement in fleet maintenance, in the road department, in other areas. But we've got to work at it. We've got to. And if we don't, I'm going to be back up here. And I'm going to keep saying it time and time again.
Thank you. Next, we have Scott Belford.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I am Scott Belford and I live at 4756 Southeast 6th Lane in Keystone Heights. And I'm speaking about the proposed ice detention facility. I want to begin by acknowledging the people who have spoken before me at these meetings. Many have raised real moral, social, and human rights concerns about this project, and whether you agree with every word or not, those concerns deserve to be heard and taken seriously. What I am offering tonight is different. It is not a moral argument, nor is it a political argument. It's a budget argument. Your budget. At the January 15th BOCC meeting, there seemed to be an assumption that putting an ice detention facility might be profitable, or at the very least, as Savo said, at least cost neutral. In my humble opinion, it is neither. Consequently, I prepared a 178-page cost and risk assessment, a copy which has been sent to each of you. The core message is simple. Before Bradford County moves forward, the Commission needs to know what this project is likely to cost in the real world and not what someone hopes it will cost. The most important financial point is this. Based on the county's likely cost exposure and the cost recovery figure that Savo proposed in January, the county appears to be about $197,000 a month short on average over the next 3 years. Put another way, ICE would need to pay Bradford County about $396,000 a month just to give the county a 50-50 chance of keeping inside your budget. I am now the CFO, why should anyone believe me? I am now the CFO of a small nationwide company, but more importantly, Earlier in my career as a GS-15 cost and economic analyst for the Department of the Air Force and for the Office of Secretary of Defense. My work often focused on what major weapon systems would cost to sustain them over time. That is very similar to what I'm offering you here. This report identifies the major cost drivers, estimates a realistic range of costs, and shows where the financial risks fall if those costs are not fully covered. So I will close quickly where I began financially. It is more probable than not that Bradford County will be about $197,000 short, and at that level of funding, there's only a 50-50 chance of it staying within budget. If you want a 90% chance, you're going to have to negotiate.
Thank you. Did I miss anyone's comment card? Thank you. Next we have on the agenda is the approval for our consent agenda. Can I have a motion for approval of the consent agenda?
Madam Chair, I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Motion by Commissioner Doherty and second by Commissioner Thompson. Any further discussion or questions? If not, all in favor by the sign aye.
Aye.
4-0. At this time, we are going to have a presentation from Comcast, Government Regulatory Affairs, Samuel Waltzer. Welcome.
Thank you very much, Commissioner Chair, Commissioners, County Manager, staff, residents. Really glad to be here and present on behalf of Comcast. My name is Samuel Waltzer, and I am your Government Affairs representative here in Northeast Florida, and covering 10 counties, basically ranging from Gainesville over to St. John's and then up to Nassau County. And then outside of Comcast, I'm also a soldier in the Army National Guard, so 19 years and counting on service there. And I'm not originally from here in Northeast Florida, but I do have family that have been here for many decades, and really glad to be here and excited to work with all the local communities here. So next, am I able to scroll the slides, or is that?
There is
a little clicker, okay, thank you. Excellent. Okay, so just to give a little bit of background on Comcast, and folks may be familiar with Xfinity as our Comcast residential internet brand, and then Comcast Business, as you can see, that's our business internet brand. We are the largest provider of connectivity to small businesses in America, and we do have our Universal Studios movie theater, does a lot of movies you may have seen, Jurassic Park franchise, Wicked, Oppenheimer, Despicable Me with the Minions, which a lot of the kids love, and the parents too, so some exciting stuff there, and we're proud of many of the brands that make up Comcast, but the most important thing is working alongside our communities and serving our communities, so really important piece for us, and we're, again, really thrilled to be here, so thank you. Just a little bit again about our business here. So our Xfinity network, you can see a lot of fiber in the ground, so very, very reliable. Xfinity Mobile, also very reliable as far as our cell phone business. Once you're a Comcast Xfinity customer, then you can purchase Xfinity Mobile, which is one of the most reliable carriers that you will find in the country, and works overseas as well, pretty seamlessly. And then Comcast Business, again, leading for our small, medium businesses. We do also serve large businesses, but we are the leading provider of small and medium business internet services in the country. A little bit here about our affordability, reliability. We do have a new 5-year price guarantee. So I would encourage folks to go, I'll give the website in a little bit, or just Google Comcast 5-year price guarantee. But what that does, that obligates us to honor your price for 5 years. There's no obligation to stay. So somebody signs up for the 5-year price guarantee, and then 2 years in, they decide for whatever reason they want to cancel it. There's no penalty, no obligation. It just means that if they sign up for it again, they might have to get that price at that time if they're signing up for new. But it obligates us to honor the price for 5 years, but not the customer can break it at any time. But also our internet essentials for folks that are a little maybe income constrained. We've been providing since 2011. You can see here on the slide, $14.95 a month. So extremely affordable, and we're glad to bring internet to the entire community. So I want to make sure that there's a very well-served availability there. Reliable, you can see most reliable network in the United States, and we have a lot of advanced systems that'll detect issues. If there's a cut in the wire, our computers will detect where it is to within a few feet, and we'll send trucks, crews right away, get it repaired. It does happen, unfortunately, sometimes. Folks are digging or just not intended, sometimes intentionally, but we do fix it right away. And then secure, we have cybersecurity, some top-notch cybersecurity, both for our residential customers on Xfinity's side, and then also for our Comcast business. And you can see there over 34 billion cyber attacks that we've detected on the Comcast business side and fought. So really, really important, especially with a lot of things going on in the world. There's a lot of bad cyber actors. So if you are going to sign up for internet services, you want to make sure that you have something that's secure. So glad for that as well. And I do want to highlight also consumer spending on home broadband has remained around 1% of income on average over the last decade, so last 10 years. But the speeds have skyrocketed. So average download speeds now have increased about 9-fold from where they were over 10 years ago, but still paying roughly the same household income proportion. So 30% annually increased speed. Investing in our communities, as I mentioned, you can see there 65 million homes and businesses, nation's largest internet provider, and then 2 million plus Comcast business, small businesses that are connected. So small businesses are the backbone of our economy, here in Bradford County, but all over Florida and all over the country. So really, really glad to bring that connectivity to everybody. And investment specifically here in Florida, when it says homes and businesses passed, that means served. So over 262,000, and then 2.2 million plus on our Internet Essentials over the last roughly 11 years or so since 2015. And then our workforce here in Florida helps to drive the Florida economy, close to $7 billion in payroll and benefits for our Florida employees, with just under 31,000 employees here in Florida. So again, helping to drive the economy here, and really glad to do so. We are building in Florida, and that's the main reason why I came out here, to let everybody know there's a lot of expansion here for our broadband lines that are being built this year specifically. So we've been doing a lot of planning, partnering with government with subsidy programs, and I'll get into those in a little bit. But we've been awarded over $100 million in BEAD, which is the most recent subsidy program, but then there's also the Broadband Opportunity Program and the Capital Project Fund as well, and those will all be built out by the end of this year is the schedule. So a lot of building going on, a lot of expansion, so folks will have the opportunity to sign up for Comcast Xfinity services on the personal side, and then Comcast Business on the business side if folks have that interest. And just by the numbers here, as far as I mentioned, the Broadband Opportunity, the BOCC, and the Capital Project Fund, the CPF. So we're looking at 4,335 passings here by the end of the year. Expected, I know that's significant in proportion to the population here in Bradford County, and we are very glad again to serve. And then BEAD also is coming up in the next few years. So the majority of that build is getting done here. It's going to be basically Temple Ave, so Route 100, kind of north-south backbone of the county is where you can expect to see a lot of that build. And there is a resource, I'll point to the website as well, where you can enter your address of either your business or your residence, and you can see, do we serve it now, or if not, are we going to serve it in the near future? And it'll tell you, it'll give you a rough estimate, summer of 2026 or fall of 2026. The service may not be there with you now, but it is coming in the near future. So really glad again to expand and have the ability to serve more customers. So you can see there on the xfinity.com/mytown. So that's where you can go to enter your address to see does Comcast service, is it available here in my address, or will it be in the near future? We understand there's other providers too. Comcast is the most reliable. I'm not here to say other things about other providers, but Comcast is the most reliable. The cybersecurity again is second to none, which is really important in today's day and age. My boss is our Vice President of Government Affairs for the entire state of Florida. Right there, you see on the slide, Michelle McGovern, and then I'm Samuel Waltzer, and you see my email and phone. I work with your commissioners and county manager and staff. But please, if anybody has questions, comments, wants to know anything more about Comcast, I'm really glad to receive phone calls, text messages, emails. Just please get in touch, and I'm here to be your resource. But we're really excited for this build out. So just be on the lookout here. We're going to do a lot of publicity campaigns with door hangers and TV commercials and so forth, working in partnership with the commissioners and with the manager and the staff, so that way folks know that where the build out is and where we'll be serving soon. So a lot of exciting times here, so that we can increase our ability to serve the community, increase service to small businesses, medium businesses, and residents, to give everybody that opportunity to be connected. So really excited.
Mr. Watson, I know that you say you could put your address and determine whether you're serving them now, but do you know off the top whether you're serving at this time the southern end of Stark, let's say near the area from on 301 towards Walmart? Are you covering that area at this time?
There's an extent, I will say by the end of the year, if it's an area that's not served at the moment, we do have service in parts of the area. So this bill is a partnership between Comcast and the government, where we partner to build and on funding. There is some areas that are served there, but some areas it's an extensive expansion, and I do have a map that I'm glad to go over later on. But yeah, it's expansive. Basically, the whole north-south artery of Bradford County, there's a very, very expansive area. So if it's not served at the moment, there's a very, very good chance that it will be by the end of the year.
Okay. And that would also further include the Hampton Brooker areas?
Yeah, very, very extensive build going on just for this year. And that's not even counting the extra bead build that's coming up in the next few years. But yeah, this year it's going to be very, very expansive. So it's definitely an exciting time.
Okay, thank you. Other commissioners, questions?
Well, I'll just echo what you said. They're working very hard in Brooker. Matter of fact, they buried cable in my yard today, so there's been a lot of people out there and getting it in. And I know I speak for that area, that we appreciate the effort, and it will be nice to have the service. So thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, we're very glad to provide.
Madam Chairman, if I may, I'm sorry. Sam, I know you got a plane to catch, brother, so I don't want to hold you up, but I just wanted to thank you for your involvement since you came on board in this position. You've come here and you've met with county staff, and you've really answered a lot of our questions and been very transparent about what Comcast is doing here in Bradford County. And I also want to take the opportunity to thank Commissioner Andrews. She and I started down this road about 4 years ago, and thank you for your leadership and your involvement in this effort. And we're finally getting to where we wanted to be, or where we wanted to get to when we started this 4 years ago. So once again, Sam, thank you, and we'll certainly be in touch.
Absolutely. Normally I would stay and take questions at the end of the meeting. Tomorrow's a military reserve day for me, so I just have to get up to my military unit.
Mr. Walter, just real quick, I want to thank you for your service. Thank you very much. Come from a military family, so I know it's a sacrifice for you and your family, and thank you so much for that. And so I don't want to hold you up. I did have a quick question.
Absolutely.
Where there's coax now, is that being converted to fiber, or
there's a possibility that it may be. The priority is to get areas that are unserved or underserved is actually how these programs work. So we can go over certainly specific addresses or areas. I'm certainly glad to come. So my office is up in Jacksonville, but it's not uncommon for me to be here in Stark. I love coming down here. Best strawberries in the world. So, yeah, certainly glad to meet and go over any specific addresses or areas. And as residents have concerns or questions, certainly glad to answer those as well. So.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you for your time. Thank you. All right. Okay. Next, we have our clerk's report.
Madam Chair, just a reminder to the board that you will need to appoint a new citizen member to serve on the Value Adjustment Board to replace Matthew Carlton. Just a reminder that the member must own homestead property in the county, must not be a member or employee of any taxing authority in Florida, or represent owners, property appraisers, tax collectors, or taxing authorities in any administrative or judicial review of property taxes. And just please plan to share your recommendations and appoint a qualified citizen member during your Tuesday, April 7th County Commission meeting.
I thought we...
Have you got any names now?
I'm waiting on the board. You all have to appoint a citizen member, and so at that April 7th meeting, I'm hoping that you all will have recommendations to share amongst each other, and then from those recommendations, you all can make a recommendation, vote on who you want to serve. This again is to replace Matthew Carlton, who currently serves on the Value Adjustment Board, who's the citizen member. He's no longer able to serve,
Right.
and that's the position we need to fill.
Can I give you a name tonight, or?
If you know of someone and they're interested.
Yes, ma'am.
I would say be ready to talk about that at the April 7th
All right.
meeting, and then I'll ask the board to vote on.
I got one that wants to do it,
Wonderful, that'd be great.
so.
Okay, thank you.
Anything else, Ms. Rooney?
No, Madam Chair, thank you.
Thank you. And congratulations for your recognition at the Boy Scout. Thank you. Okay, our sheriff.
Yes, ma'am. I'm gonna try.
Please.
I'm gonna try.
All right.
Y'all know me.
Kindness.
Well, hopefully your daughter's doing better.
Yes.
We've kept her in prayer, had a little prayer chain, so
Appreciate
hope that's
it.
doing better. But also remember our men and women that are abroad in this vast war that's already claimed lives. It's whether you agree or disagree, you still got to support the men and women that serve our country.
Amen.
So I just want to put that in there wherever you're at with it. But just a couple of things I heard from the audience. I can't address them all. There was too many. I'm just going to leave it as it is. The first is, better look up Grady Judd again. Sheriff Grady Judd blasts media reports that he criticized federal mass deportation efforts as simply not true. They did mislead that. We have meetings regards to it, so I knew that's when I addressed your letter back. Yeah, so it's a lot of misinformation as it still goes out there in regards to it. As I said in the last meeting, nobody is going to love Bradford County more than me. You may love it as much as me. That was the statement made. As far as generations, mine go back about 7 generations. This is my home. This is where I raised my family. As far as you talk about people that built next to it, the jail facility this morning was about 204 people, wasn't 100. A lot of misinformation. They hear what they want to, and I can't fight that. I can't. However, the last time we've been threatened, we'll protest. Well, that's a constitutional right. You know what? And I'm a constitutional sheriff. I believe in the constitutional right. I've never kept anybody from protesting, ever. Get out there. What I say is we follow the law. We will enforce the law. If you get out there and peacefully protest, hold your sign. I'm probably the guy that brings you water, as I've done many times. We're the people that's helped you get out. So I won't be threatened with that. You block traffic, you throw things, we got the Gray Bar Motel. I don't have any issues with that. I've not had to come up here and threaten anybody. I've not had to stare people down. The only reason I got stared at or looked at is because they kept interrupting the last time I spoke with the grunts and the groans that Miss Spooner said she could hear on the recording. That's what that was all about. So with that being said, I had not intended to discuss this controversial subject, so I put some things in writing, as I like to do, because I'll carry on. If I don't, keeps me on track, and I'm a constitutional officer, and I am on the agenda to address. So yes, I am privileged as the elected official to represent Bradford County, the entire county of Bradford, to speak and address some of these things that are twisted or turned, or they say or see what they want to. Not until all the it says controversial subject at this particular time. Not until all the information and facts were gathered to answer all the questions our community will have, and to provide answers with backed up documentation and facts. Hence, we hired a consultant. Actually, there's been no pay. They came to me and they said, can we put this together? We address it. Then they still got to send it to DHS. To think for 1 minute that you, our Board of County Commissioners, would place people on soil that they couldn't be. There's people that live on it now. To think they're going to drink contaminated water, that is just asinine and absurd. They're grasping at straws to come because they don't like the political nature. They're going to be housed somewhere. We talk about Glades County. It was Sabo that actually went in there, and it's become one of the gold standards. Baker County, you know when those facilities were built? The Obama administration, and they were full. So let's be honest and let's be true. However, I want you to know that I do not, it says, the meeting with the commission was to approve the use of the property and move a proposal for housing. We can put together a proposal and submit it, and it may not get approved. But I've heard people here tonight say, well, the sheriff's for it, he's selling it. Well, you know what? I'm gonna give you a little answer. So here's how I feel about the ICE detention center in Stark. I'm gonna talk slow so y'all can hear it. It's recorded. If when you say ICE detention center in Stark, you mean the cruel cage, the alleged human rights scourge, which none have been proven, the inhumane monster that defiles dignity, dethrones compassion, destroys families, creates misery and trauma, yes, literally tears children from the arms of their parents, which, by the way, ask any arrested American citizen what happens when they get torn from their family. If you mean the evil system that topples vulnerable migrants and asylum seekers from the hope of safety and opportunity into the bottomless pit of indefinite detention, despair, abuse, hopelessness, then certainly I am against it. See, you don't know me. I am married to a woman with Mexican descent. Family. Was an Alvarez. Came here with the Campos family. Her uncle teaches the Hispanic church in this county for the Hispanics. Written numerous letters for people to get their citizenship of all different nationalities, but mainly Mexicans. I've worked with them. I eat with them. They come to my home, not to work, but to break bread or to pray. So you don't know me. And to think for a minute that I'm not going to take every viable step to make sure that we get, including money, that some have all different, great art. You did a lot of work, by the way. Impressive. Took me a lot of reading. That was a lot of work. So thank you. And I'm with you. I want more. I want to bring to our county, because the only way we have for revenue in this county is tax people. Ms. Vonda is correct. You know what I'm saying? So before you shout out about things you don't know about me, let's make sure we get it right. But if when you say ICE detention center in Stark, you mean the opportunity to get it done right? The economic engine, the job creating boom, the facility that's built when leaders get together to boost the local economy, that puts paychecks in workers' pockets and tax revenue in county coffers. The promise of growth in our struggling rural community. If you mean physical cheer, if you mean the development that puts a spring in the local business owner's step on a slow economic morning, and when you talk about housing, take those houses in that subdivision, look back 10 years ago, look back 15 years ago, and look today. What's been said is not true here today. So let's talk about facts, not speculation. If you mean the project when it enables our community to magnify its prosperity and its stability, and to forget, if only for a little while, years of stagnation. How long is that building sitting there? Unemployment and budget shortfalls. If you mean that facility, the operation of which has the potential to pour into our county budget untold billions, and I hope to get as much as I can, if it goes forward, we can prepare a plan and submit it. It doesn't mean it's going to get approved. How many grants do we submit that don't get approved? But some people lose their mind at the mention of it because of their politics or their stance politically. Not everyone, but the vast majority that's coming here that don't live here, don't care what happens here. They come in and say their 3 minutes, get it recorded, and leave. Tells you all you need to know. Which the untold millions of dollars which are used to provide tender care for our little children, our schools, and our roads, and our aging infrastructure, then certainly I am for it. So this is my stand, and I will not retreat, and I will not compromise. And to my Board of County Commissioners, I can't thank you enough. And when I was on the phone the other day, if anybody's been in my office, you know around my phone I've got lots of quotes. And several years ago, I wrote a quote from somebody I didn't particularly care about, Kirby Smart, coach of the Georgia Bulldogs. I'm a Gator. My baby brother, he got mistreated growing up. He's a Bulldog fan. He's a sergeant over in Alachua at the training academy. But it says you can't ignore the cost of leadership. And great leaders are willing to accept those costs. But I sit out here, I realized one of the quotes that several posted in my office, and this one stuck out, hit me right between the ears, and y'all know I got big ears. As I'm sitting there on the phone, and I read it, and I said, it kind of hits home to what we're going through with this. Because everybody wants to know what's going on, wants to put their fingers in. It's a work product, and when we get there, everyone will know. Everything I've ever done, to getting these meetings recorded, to what we're doing. But I'll share 3 of those things that were written on that note. You will have to make hard decisions that negatively affect people you care about. 2, you will be disliked despite your best attempt to do the best for the most. And 3rd, you will be misunderstood, as we can see here tonight. It's an easy example. And won't always have the opportunity to defend yourself. But these are 3 of the costs that come from being a great leader. And I admire all of them sitting up here, each and every meeting, listen to the same stuff, beat the same drum. The majority, or half the people or more that come here, don't care what the outcome is. They're driven by their own agenda. Others come with legitimate gripes, or concerns, or anxieties. Those are the people we address. Those are the people that we display and be open and forthright with. And everybody that's come to see me, which, by the way, has been one person from that community near it. Another one that reached out and called me that lived near it just a day or 2 ago. And the other 2 didn't live in Bradford County. And I'm out in the public every single day. So to that, I want to thank you for standing in what you've had to do and taking the time to listen, especially to us and the people we serve. Thank you.
Sheriff, before you do, and we appreciate all of the comments from the people, from our community, and so forth. But I want to address a few other issues. Guys.
Oh, okay.
The number of continuous accidents that we were having near the bypass, and also
27%.
Yes, I wish that we can ask for another DOT study on the safety of the road. Maybe it's the elevation, maybe it's the speed, the lighting, whatever. But we have to do something, and I would ask if you can address that. The other is I wanted to, well, he's not here, to thank Lieutenant Weeks for working with the jail inmates.
They have been phenomenal. The staff from the fire rescue
Yes.
have stepped up. Matter of fact, they caught me in the fair and said, we didn't know, they just didn't know how operations of jails work in regards to it. And I want to stress that all of our jail inspections, the unannounced inspections, we have one of the top rated jail facilities in the state, by the way. And when you look back at the issues that were brought forward about some of that, that's where Sabo stepped in and made it the gold standard. So, yes, ma'am.
And then the other, I wanted to also thank Captain Witt for their response in this recent storms, and for the different parts and departments working together along with the Sheriff Department.
But thank you, commissioners, also. I know that he brags, and we all do. There's not a commissioner we have that's not responsive when we ring the phone, they answer. You were out of town, you answer.
I still answer to someone.
You do, you were still watching the commission meeting, you know what I'm saying? You knew what was going on.
And call to get a tree removed from the Pleasant Grove area before I got back.
In fact, that wind the other day was as bad as we've had in a long time, I can tell you, just in my neighborhood. And the county out of the 125 area where the tornado hit the Rayford area, I can tell you, speaking to some people, the next day after lunch, they were still without power. So, but as you're saying, Captain Brad Witt is phenomenal. That guy's on his A game.
Yes.
Amen.
But thank you. But if we can get DOT to take a look at these areas that we're having the.
Scott, can I get you? We'll sit down with that. We'll call them again. They keep wanting to do everything virtual now. Nobody wants to come, in regards to it. But that issue we've addressed. We try to get acceleration lanes and some deceleration lanes. It's been a fight, but I'm with you. We can't give up. We got to keep.
Yes, and there are lots of federal dollars that might be able to assist And some
If they don't all go to Iran.
with the summer transportation.
I'm hoping not. I'm hoping not. Those are all different buckets of money, but yeah, it's that's a serious problem when you got that big a percentage in either the north end. And y'all don't realize, at one end you got halogen lights and street lights, the other end you got LED. They use two different companies, and when they took the overpasses out and made just it's been a nightmare. We spend a lot of time there, probably more so with the crashes. We don't call them accidents anymore, they're crashes, than anywhere else. We had a bad one in Keystone. Danny's not here yesterday with a fatality right at the entrance of the Keystone Golf and Country Club. But, and we've lost some good community leaders here in the last little bit too, so keep those families in your prayer. It comes in spurts, but
Thank you.
thank you as always.
Let me know, Sheriff, we'll do what we need to do.
Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you, Sheriff.
All right. And, thank you. Next, we'll have county manager's report.
Yes, thank you, Madam Chairman. First of all, we have a community workshop scheduled for next Tuesday, March 24th at 5:30 p.m. at the Charlie John Center. As you know, this is not a Board of County Commissioners workshop. It will not be noticed or advertised. This is a workshop put on jointly by two of our consultants, HAF Engineers and North Florida Professional Services, where we'll be getting or taking public input from the public regarding the comprehensive plan and also the strategic plan. So we're trying to get as much participation as we can from the public. Community leaders have been encouraged to attend, and we're hoping to have a good turnout for that. Also, I would like to mention that this coming Saturday is opening day for Bradford Sportsmen or Bradford Sports United. What a big day this is going to be. I've been going around to the different service clubs and different meetings that I attend throughout the county, and more or less just been bragging on what that board has done over the last 3 or 4 months, standing this effort up. They held a sign-up day about 3 or 4 weeks ago where they were signing up kids to play. And in an 8-hour period, they signed up over 240 kids to play baseball and softball, which is, wrap your head around that. So evidently we have found an unmet need, and Bradford Sports United seems to be meeting that need. So we're very excited about that. Opening day, March 21st, this Saturday at 9 a.m. at the Edwards Road Park. The next thing I want to talk about is this past week, our Public Works Department participated in American Public Works Association Rodeo up in Jacksonville. And one of our very own Public Works employees, Heath Beckner, won I want to get this right. Heath Beckner was the first place overall winner at the Public Works Rodeo. So congratulations to Heath, and thank you to Jason Dodds and his team for the outstanding work that they do. Also a reminder that the burn ban is still in effect. We're thankful for the little bit of rain that we got last week, but currently the ban is still in effect and will remain in effect until further notice. That's all I have, Madam Chair.
Okay, thank you. And next, our county attorney.
Thank you, Madam
All
Chair.
right, and our commissioner comments at this time. There be any?
Well, I'd just like to further what Ms. Spooner said with the storm and everything. I want to thank the sheriff and Jason very much, because we worry about the people in our counties, and when I called, they were very quick with answers. Yes, ma'am, that we did have a tree down there, but we've got it up and there's no one hurt. So that gives you a lot of, it helps you to feel okay about your people, and so I'd like to thank them for that very, very much. Also, I was hoping that very soon we'll have an update on the fair.
Yes, ma'am. Actually, April the 19th at the April 19th meeting, it'll be I'll deliver the state of 16th, I'm sorry. I've been saying the 19th now for 3 months. April 16th, it'll be the Thursday night meeting in April. I will present the state of the county report, and at that time, the fair manager will also be here to give us a report on the fair.
Okay. Well, I just want to just say that it was obvious that they did a great job. From the minute that you step up to it, it was just, it set up like a big fair that you go into in Clay County or Duval County. I mean, it was, I really, really appreciate the work that they did. Everything was clean, and people were having a good time, and I just want to thank the board for such a great job. And Ms. Spooner, it's so good to have you back.
Thank you.
And we prayed hard for you and your family, and we will continue to keep your family in prayer. And like the sheriff said, please pray for our staff that are overseas fighting and giving their lives for us. So please keep them in your prayers. And thank y'all for coming and giving us your thoughts, and because we do listen and we take everything into consideration. So thank you again. That's all I have to say.
Commissioner Thompson?
Miss Andrews done said all I was gonna say. But no, I thank the citizens for coming out, and I mean, we had a super fair. How they put it together in that short time, they did an awesome job.
Amen.
And Sheriff's Department, love y'all. Appreciate what you stand up for the county. Thank you. And your staff.
Thank you. Commissioner Doyle?
Yeah, I just want to, again, prayers to Charnel, and glad to have you back.
Thank you.
Certainly, when I got a call from Mr. Cornegay, we were all trying to figure out how we could help. So anyway.
I told her you cut her grass.
If it rained some, we'd have some grass, right? You'd roll over
I
and
did
it'll
tell her
break.
that. I said, we'll cut whatever you need while you go. We just wanted to worry.
You can roll over it and it'll break. That's about it right now. Sheriff, I just want to make a comment about something you said about your family. I remember Roman Alvarez and going into Laredo's, and how the families down there that operate Laredo's would just flock around him and Mrs. Alvarez, and how much he did for them. And again, I've been invited to many of their events, and during that time, they were always there, and they were appreciated, and certainly they were loved. And I know that the passing of Mr. Alvarez, certainly hit them very hard. I also want to mention too the upcoming April the 10th Shoot with the Sheriff event. And what you and your staff do for the charitable foundation that goes to the nonprofits here in Bradford County, the Heroes with Holidays, the Food Bank, and any of the charitable organizations that reach out to you, and that you're always there for them and always
It goes
giving.
back to
That's
our
right.
community. There's no fees. It's just whatever we raise.
That's
we just
right.
divide it amongst the.
It's not coming out of our general fund, it's not coming out of jail set aside, it's coming out of that charitable foundation. So again, thank you for your work, to all your staff and to everybody there. Whether it's law enforcement, whether it's fire and rescue, whether it's the gentleman that was up here earlier that serves in the military, you all do things that a lot of people don't do. And we depend on you guys and women that are out there that are serving, because there are people that will run away from situations where you all go to them. And again, we appreciate that. And again, we appreciate our fire department, our rescue, for instance, rolling up on that accident out by the golf course in Keystone. That's something that most people would, drive around and keep going, so, but anyway, again, I want to thank you.
Commissioner Daughter, that kudos goes to my staff.
I know.
I'm the elected official, but they're the ones that do the hard work.
I know. And then the same applies to us. Certainly we're up here, we're overseeing policies and budgets and things like that, but it's the staff, and when you look at, even Public Works, how they come, to the rescue a lot of times, and they make our job so much easier. They really do. We do sit up here and we are the sounding board, but at the end of the day, those are the ones that really look out for us and take care of us. So again, I thank you all, and Sheriff, thank you.
Well, again, I echo to thank you, those who individually, you reached out and I didn't know that you were praying for my daughter and for my board and the prayer that you all rendered, and I appreciate each and every one of you. And I just said thank you and continue to lift her up. I won't be here for the 20, this weekend. I have to fly out on Saturday morning for a memorial for a family member. But otherwise I would be here as well. Also, I just wanted to again thank the Public Works, Mr. Johns and Mr. Witt and the Sheriff Department for the good work that you did and during the storm. Also for our Finance Department, getting our workshops set up, because that's an important part for us in our planning and looking at what we may need to do in preparation for what is to come once our legislative session is finalized. And your input is important. So Mr. Carnegie mentioned to you about the workshop coming up. It's important to get the community's input in our comprehensive plan and in our strategic plan. That's one of the most important things that we can have for our community, looking at what our goals and objectives are for the community. So I would appreciate as many people turning out for that as possible. The other thing is, please stress the importance for people to adhere to the burn ban. We had a person burning debris that was hazardous and had left it. Thankfully, our fire department came out, took care of it, talked to the family. So when you see something, say something, because we have to keep each other safe. Some people think it's okay to just burn their trash in the brick, but it's not. It's very dangerous. And Ms. Belford had his study. I'm very interested in looking at what you had, and I want to express my appreciation to all of you in providing your comments and doing it in a very respectful manner. Again, I say congratulations to Rachel and her recognition, and I'm thankful to the community for the good job that they've done, and also with our fair for this year, trying to do the best to bring some activity back and to do it in a fashion that it is appreciated by our community. So again, let's continue to work together, hear each other, respect each other, and let's continue to work and build Bradford, because we are one community, Bradford County strong. And with that, I say thank you to you all, and if there's nothing more, this meeting is adjourned.
Well,